Good evening, race fans. Thank you for tuning in. Want to start off by saying I hope you and your family had a tremendous Thanksgiving holiday. Hope you had plenty of good food surrounded by good people. But we're here live tonight, New Smyrna Speedway for the Crooked Line Racing Saturday Night Super Truck Series. Super excited to be back in the booth. Been a few days since we've been calling the action. All of our leagues were off this week, but now that it's Saturday, we're ready to rock and roll. These drivers are hitting qualifying right now. Going to see what they can do around this tiny, tiny track. As Chris Carroll just went top of the board with an 1809.08. So that 99 truck going to be looking bad faster tonight. Levi Allen's currently holding down the second place spot. Jason Day, Cindy Taylor, and Mr. Aiden Young, as we're going to go over here to Christian Pittman, see what he's able to do in his brand new Five Kings Network, Five King Motorsports number 14 Chevy Silverado. Christian Pittman must not like that first lap. He's pulling it back down pit road. Going to try it again, as Chase Pierce just went to fourth on the board, so Mr. Pierce put him down a pretty good lap. See what Mr. Keith Taylor's able to do in the '08 Nitros Cabela's machine. He's rounding out turn number 4 here. Keith with that's his out lap. So this is his first lap right here. So let's stay on board with Mr. Keith and see how he does. We'll actually jump cockpit with him and see how the '08's attacking a track like this. And ooh, I've heard all night the truck's really, really tight. But right there, that truck just washed out from underneath that driver, not able to control it. Last week's winner, Joe the Show Burchett, won in a race at Martinsville. Been a front runner all season long. Joe Burchett's really fast no matter where he lines up at. Won the Martinsville race. Let's see what he's able to do here at New Smyrna. Qualifying lap's not going to matter. Because like you know, you win the previous week, no matter what, you go to the tail end of the field. But Joe Burchett able to still qualify in the third place spot, even though we do know he'll be starting at the back of the field. As we turn it back to Keith Taylor here, as Keith just went to P5 on the board. Only going to get one lap, though, because we saw that '08 spin out. As there's a few drivers left to qualify. Not a whole lot. They got about a minute and a half to get their qualifying finished up. But while we wait, I'm going to find us a driver to have a quick little chat with. Let's see here. As I don't think Christian Pittman is going to go back out on the track, as Mr. Willie Evernham, number 19, Five King Motorsports driver, going to come out here on track now. See what he can do in that Ray Evernham inspired number 19. As I'm going to pull up the young gun of Five King Motorsports, none other than Christian Pittman, into the broadcast booth. Have a quick little word with him. Christian, you got Tanner Marr in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Well, Christian, we saw you roll out on track, and then you kind of just stopped. What's the thinking that not putting on a lap?
My first lap, I ran a lap, and I got loose off the 4, and I slid sideways across the line. And I thought it was going to at least count that lap, but it for some reason didn't. So spun around, and basically instead of slamming on the brakes and trying to stop to get a reset for the second lap, I thought coming across the line sideways would count my lap. But I guess right after I crossed the start-finish line, I got a 1X, so I guess it has some kind of a detection maybe or something. It just didn't give us a lap, so we made it hard for ourselves tonight, that's for sure.
So you're going to have third place starter Joe Burchett. He's going to be firing off right there with you, so maybe the 14-27 can kind of link up. What's your strategy coming into the night, especially now that you know you're starting in the back of the pack?
I'd probably say patient because there's always an early wreck, especially in a short track like this. I think tonight you're going to see a lot of beating and banging just because braking points are really different here. Some people like to drive it in there deep. Some people brake really early. So I think the first couple of laps, give and take, will be key. So maybe just if Joe gets out ahead of us, kind of just let him make the holes and follow him through. He do the hard part and we do the easy part, just following him through.
Well, good luck to you, Mr. Pittman. Newly reacquainted with the 5 King Motorsports stable. We're glad to have you, Pittman, and good luck to you, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Alrighty, folks. Let's see if we can dial up another driver. Got Mr. Chris Carroll sitting top of the board. He's pretty accustomed sitting top of the board, but I don't see him in Discord anywhere. No Chris Carroll sighting, so we'll go to our second place man, Mr. Levi Allen in the 03. He's currently holding down the P2 spot. Levi, Tanner in the booth, you got a copy? May have caught Levi during a bathroom break. A lot of times drivers use these last few minutes to eke out a quick little restroom run. Levi, Tanner Martin in the booth, you got a copy?
I've got a copy, but my game just crashed, so I gotta fix it real quick.
Oh no, I'll get you back down to your racing, let you finish that, get that taken care of. Okay, Levi?
Alright, thanks, man.
Alright, that's never anything good right there. So hopefully he can get that sorted out, get it taken care of, because we are moments away from the grid now. So we're going to kill a little bit of time for him. We're not going to advance the session. We'll pull up one of our racing admins here. We'll interview him really quick and then let him know what's happening. Jason Raymond, driver number 44. Tanner Martin, the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
So I was literally just sending you a text message saying you can advance it. But Levi Allen, his game crashed. So we're going to give 03 enough time to get back into the server. Raymond, you're currently sitting in the 9th place spot. What's it going to take for that 44 to get that elusive first victory of the season?
Definitely some patience and maybe trying to learn how to actually drive this track a little bit more. I was struggling all practice. Kind of surprised I'm actually up in 9th, but I'll take it. Just gonna be patient, kind of watch around, see what everyone else is doing, and see if I can learn what I'm doing wrong to get some speed and hopefully be there at the end.
So Jason, I mean, we heard it was the common thread all night. Truck's tight. Man, the truck's really tight. I just watched 3 to 4 guys get loose in qualifying. Is the truck starting to change as the night's going on, or is that people just trying to get a little bit too much out of it, maybe just kicking the truck sideways?
I think it's just people trying to get too much out of it. I know in practice, I had so much wheel into it because it was so tight through center that when I came up over the little bump on corner exit, it would just kind of snap on you. So you gotta kind of also gotta watch for that as definitely something as well to watch for. Is there's these little bumps. I don't know if you can really see it on broadcast, but corner exits pretty bumpy, so that's gonna make for some incidents there, I feel like.
Well, let's hope not. Right, remember, Jason, competition caution, stage 1's lap 35, stage 2's lap 70. We'll be calling action. Good luck to you, buddy.
Thank you.
Alrighty, folks, as we await for Mr. Levi Allen to get back in here, let's find us another driver to have a quick little word with. We're going to pull up the driver of the number 65, Mr. Chase Pierce. Chase, you got a copy?
Yep.
So, Chase, I've shared some laps with you on track, so I know these short tracks are a strong suit for you. You're currently sitting in the 6th place spot. 7th place spot is Mr. Hendry, just bumped you down 1 spot. What's it going to take for that 65 to be parked out in victory lane when this is all said and done?
Well, play our tires right and maybe a little bit of bumper using.
Oh, so I'm hearing 65 is not afraid to use that chrome horn, I take it.
Not at all.
Going to get in where you fit in. That's Chase Pearson at number 65. Good luck to you, Chase.
Yep. Thank you.
Alrighty, folks, and as we are still awaiting confirmation on Mr. Levi Allen, let's see who else we got in here. Oh, Tim Trowbridge. He's always good for a word or two. Mr. Timmy Trowbridge, number 74, Tanner Martin, the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. You got me?
I got you loud and clear, my sir. Looks like you boys are about to go to race grid. See, you're currently sitting P12. What's the strategy for you here tonight?
Just try to stay out of trouble. Just not feeling good in the truck tonight, so we'll just try and play the strategy long and see what we can do.
Yeah, the truck's looking a tad loose, ain't it?
Now I just can't get the darn thing to turn.
I'm just playing, man. It looks dump truck tight. I'm so glad I'm not out there. So glad. Well, that's a lie. I wish I was out there instead of in the booth. But, Cam, y'all have fun tonight, boys. Keep that 74 clean. I'm sure we'll be talking to you at the end, buddy.
Perfect. Thank you. Enjoy.
Yes, sir, buddy. You have fun. Alrighty, folks. I've just had the word that these drivers are now going to the race grid. As we are just waiting for one of the drivers to hit the grid. Let's go through the grid, the starting grid here tonight for the Crooked Line Racing Saturday Night Super Truck Series. Mr. Chris Carroll is our pole man here tonight. He'll be starting on the inside row number 1 with Levi Allen from Overtake Motorsports. He'll be starting P2. Joe Burchett qualified in the 3rd place spot, but like we heard earlier, he will be receiving the EOL. Jason Day is going to be firing off in P4. Keith Taylor's in 5th. Daniel Hendry is in 6th. Chase Pierce is in 7th. Cindy Taylor's in 8th. Aiden Young's in 9th. And Jason Raymond's in 10th. Starting just outside the top 10, we got Dalton Kilroe starting in the 11th place spot with Tim Trowbridge in the 12th place spot. And then going down to the 13th place spot, we got Mr. Mark Lewis, and then we got Joshua Sigfry, and then Willie Evernham in 15th place spot with Christian Pittman 16th. Trey Hoovler 17th, Alex Coffey's 18th, Aaron Bockover's 19th, and John Curtis is rounding out the field playing shotgun to the field. I want to thank y'all for tuning in one more time here on the 5 King Motorsports YouTube channel. If you could, slap that thumbs up button. It really helps out a ton. Become a subscriber to the 5 King Motorsports YouTube channel. We're currently on the road to 100 subscribers. As we got some folks in the chat. Brooks, good luck to the number 66. Got some fans in the stands. 13 people watching right now. These drivers getting ready to suit it and boot it. Pull them belts tight one more time. We're getting ready to be green flag racing here. Got the 99 to the inside. 03s to the outside. Which lane will prevail? I think the high lane is going to be the preferred choice as the race goes on. But we shall see here tonight. As we get the ticker going across. We're just in the waiting mode now. Wait for that beautiful Chevy Silverado to make that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Let's see what we got. As the 03 looks to get a better jump than the 99, but the 99, as the race goes on, I think the restarts, the person on the outside will have the preferred lane. But that may not be the case. We see some still battling side by side. You got Chase Pierce and 52 of Jason Day. These two are no strangers with each other. They tangled 3 times in the last 2 races. Will the 52 and the 65 make contact here tonight? We're short track racing, so it can definitely happen as the 65 clears itself for the 52. 52 is going to look underneath him though, and I see the 52's already gotten to the wall a little bit. No fast repair on these trucks tonight. As the 52 is going to get in the back of the 65 and say, I remember what you did to me. That's not going to be a very happy Chase Pierce right there, as caution's out on the speedway. Let's pull it back. We were watching it live. As I think the 52 went in there to send a message, and either that or got in there too deep. I'm not sure. That may be something we have to look at later on. But the 52 just gave the 65 a little bit of a love tap right then. As I see Coffee's in the chat. Coffee, if you want to jump up in the booth with me, just holler at me. I'll pull you up. As an early caution right there. 2 drivers that are well acquainted with each other as of late. They cannot seem to stay off each other no matter what. So we're actually going to talk to Jason Day really quick. just have a quick little word with him and see. Jason Day, Tanner Marr in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Jason, saw you got in the back of 65. Saw you actually had a little bit of contact with the wall. I missed that though. What happened right then? Did you get in a little hot? Just kind of give him a little tap and on he went?
Yeah, I didn't mean to get into him. I just got my nose cut off twice going in the corner and tried to check up, and nothing I could do.
Well, it's like those F65 52 has a magnet in it. So, I mean, it's going to happen. We're racing short tracks, and, these rivalries happen. And for me, it's good. For you, it's not. Good luck to you, Jason. I'll be calling the action, brother.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, buddy. All right, folks. We're going to wait for the pace truck to turn off them lights, and we'll go back green flag racing. So, rivalries on these short tracks, they're going to happen. I mean, they're just going to happen. Because no matter what, you're always going to be around somebody on these short tracks. No matter if you're faster than a guy that you're a rival with. If you're faster than them, you're eventually going to be lapping them. If you're about the same speed, then you are for sure going to be around each other. And Jason Day, Chase Pierce, they're both pretty fast drivers. I have a feeling that's not going to be their last run in. But, it's racing. That's just what it is. As we see the pace truck getting ready to pull down pit road, feels in control of the Chris Carroll number 99 machine. Chris gets a great jump. 03 does not. And the 08 of Keith Taylor did not as well. It's a battle of the Taylors on row number 2. You see Keith and Cindy, brother sister, they're side by side trying to duke it out for the 4th place spot. Or 3rd place spot, excuse me. As Cindy Taylor's going to prevail, it looks like, but the 08's not going to give up on that inside lane. That outside lane, it just has the ability to gain a little bit more momentum. Then the outside lane can also hold down the driver on the inside. As we're already coming to lap number 10 this time around the stripe. Only 35 laps in this first stage. They will go by quick. As you see, the 07 has taken the spot away from her brother, Keith Taylor, in the 08. Looks like Keith Taylor may be going backwards right now on the outside. The 41 and the 08 are battling. I saw the 44, Jason Raymond. The green machine, as Miss Tammy Raymond said, got a little loose right then, battling with the likes of Tim Trowbridge to his outside. 74 versus the 44, who will prevail? As we still got a little bit of a battle happening up here. 08's going to try a crossover move on the 41. Ooh, almost initiated contact. With no fast repair in the pocket here tonight, it's really going to change how these drivers have to drive a short track like this. As I saw a white and blue Jason Day trying to make his way back up through the field. We saw Jason have earlier incident on lap 4, I think, lap 3 or 4. So he's looking to rebound off that. Got quite a bit of damage on the right side of that truck. And then got last week's winner, Joe the Show. He would have started in 3rd. He won last week, so he had to take the EOL. He's already up quite a bit of spots, holding down a 10th place spot. As he's going to drive it off in there, get underneath Jason Day. At 27 is a man on the mission. And I see also Christian Pittman. We talked to him. Christian has a brand new truck that was painted by me and Jason Raymond today. So if I pick him for the MF Racing Designs best paint scheme of the night, I'm sorry, don't call me a homer, but I just might be, because I really love how that truck turned out. The gray at the bottom mixed with the red number, it just really sets it off for me. It's a 2774. They may make contact right here, folks. It's going to be hard to keep up tonight. There's going to be action all over this little short track. I see the 08 of Keith Taylor still has Jason Raymond to his inside. That 08 is going backwards. That's not where you want to be right now. Now, I did say I think the high lane will end up being the preferred lane. But when the tires are this fresh, only 17 laps into a run, I don't think the high lane will prevail right now. You see the 44 trying to get the power down, but the 08 able to get the momentum needed to stay right there sucked into the quarter panel of the 44. These two have been side by side for a few laps now, folks. This could be a wreck waiting to happen. As one of these trucks, if they was to make a small mistake, it could lead to something big. They got a long line of trucks right there behind them, just waiting for these two to sort it out. Who will prevail? We're going to go cockpit cam with Jason Raymond as he goes into turn 3, kind of soft, not really went in there very deep. Got that wheel cranked, trying to stay off the 08. Gets a little loose. And you notice right there, not a lot of visibility out of these trucks. Don't even see the 08 right there. Can't even see him beside him until the 08 gets out in front a little bit. As these two are really putting on a racing clinic here right now, folks. I mean, they are racing side by side for about 10 laps now. As the young gun, Christian Pittman, number 14. It's the battle of the young guns right now at Five Kings Motorsports, the 14 and the 44. Which young gun will be able to get by each other? They currently look like they're kind of working together. The 44 is trying to get by the 08, but the 08 is hounding him right now on the outside. There's contact right there between the two drivers. As they're going, ooh, the 14 may, ooh, I thought the 14 was going to go around right then. 08 kind of got shuffled up until the outside wall, allowed the 14 and the 27 to get around him. But look, Keith Taylor, that's Mr. Highside right there from North Wilkesboro. Keith is not going to give it up. Keith will fight on that outside until the death of him. Very good showing by that 08. Because a lot of people, they get to that high side and they fall back fast. That 08 is not falling back fast. He is hanging on up there. As I see Christian Pittman, number 14, going to try to look underneath Jason Raymond. Wash up the track a little bit right there. So this new Smyrna Speedway, it does have quite a bit of banking. And now I say quite a bit. It's not like Daytona, Bristol, Talladega, something like that. But it does have enough banking to where it does help the truck turn. And you can carry quite a bit of speed. They're going about 90 miles per hour in these corners. And now to the eye test, it may not look like it, but they are. And you see the 14 actually get loose underneath Raymond and ultimately cost him a spot, as we now have under 10 laps to go to the stage break. These drivers are going to fight for the stage break. Top 10 will get stage points here. And I'm seeing Willie Everingham has went around. I'm seeing smoke on the track here. No caution just yet. Let's pull it back on the BAM Racing Videos replay. See what happened here. As I'm seeing some right side damage there to Willie Everingham. And ooh, the truck's just going to step out on him, getting loose. And oh, the kiss of death. Front end of that truck. That's heavy damage. At number 19 may be just down on power now. So tough break for Willie Everingham. Ray is not going to be happy. As you see, the 5 King Motorsports driver, they can't really figure it out which one's going to go here. Go back up front here and see what's happening with Chris Carroll and Levi Allen. As oh, Willie Everingham going to wreck and take the leader out. What did I just see? Oh my goodness, no fast repair for the 99. Oh my goodness, let's go back and see what happened to Willie here. As Willie is trying not to go a lap down. Oh, blew a motor. I try not to laugh, but what are the chances to that? Blows a motor and just worst timing ever for Chris Carroll. That might be the most unfortunate thing I've ever seen. I hate to laugh in that type of situation, but man, oh man, was that crazy. As I'm going to pull Willie up here, and now I'm going to say, I apologize if cuss words get said here. Willie, this is Tanner Marr in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, man, dude, I just want to apologize for Chris Carroll. I got loose coming off a 4 there. Didn't have a meatball or nothing, and then I was just trying to get back to the pits to kind of save some laps there, and all of a sudden the engine blew, and man, I had no control of that thing, dude. It blew up, and as soon as it started smoking, it went right to the right. I apologize 100% to Chris Carroll.
That's not your fault. I mean, that's not on you. I've been in these trucks, these cars on here, when they blow up, the rear tires lock up, and you have zero control. It was just the most unfortunate thing that could have happened. I've been in...
Dude, I feel so terrible, man. Like I'm beside myself about that. Like I was literally just trying to put it back to the pits, get back in there, get some repairs done, see what I can manage for the race. And I'm sorry for Chris Carroll, man. That is completely 100% on me, and it was so unexpected. Once it blew up, like I said, it blew up, and rear tires locked up and went right to the right.
Yeah, I mean, no warning either. I mean, no warning whatsoever. Just and like I saw you wreck a while ago, and it was. I thought you would be okay. You know, I thought it would be okay, and
yeah, that's the thing is like I didn't have a meatball or anything like that. I mean, it was said I had a little bit of right front damage. That's about all. And then all of a sudden the water temp, they said a warning came over, water temps are high, it blew up and right to the right side it went. Man, I cannot apologize enough to Chris Carroll. I've raced with Chris for a while. I am no way informed trying to take him out of things.
Well, he knows
That was
that.
100%. I hope he does.
He
Man,
has to. He does. I'm gonna speak for him and say that he's probably not happy. You know how it is. But stuff happens. We're racing. Willie, I want to thank you for giving me the best laugh I've ever had in the booth. And I shouldn't laugh at that kind of stuff, but I lost complete composure up here where I had to mute my mic. I'm still in tears. I'm crying right now. I'm crying.
And I hate that. I hate embarrassing myself. I hate embarrassing Chris Carroll because he was running good. But, man, it was just one of those things where I got loose coming off 4, hit the wall. It said I had a little bit of damage, didn't have a meatball. And then next thing I know, the damn thing's smoking and I'm going to the right.
Do you want to stay up here with me or are you going back to race? We'll stay up here with me.
Yeah, I'll stay up here.
I'm sharing my screen. You can call what they call. Chris, if you're watching this, I'm not laughing at Willie. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the circumstances. I have fun doing this, man. I'm the first one to tell you, I am not professional enough up here. Man, oh man, that one killed me right there. That one, I have not put myself back together yet. I'm glad they're not going back to green. I'm not sure. Willie, can you hear them? What are they doing with the stage caution? Because I knew it was coming pretty close. Do you know what the deal is?
I just saw a thing pop up on my screen because I'm still in the race here. It says Jason extended the caution by 1 lap. So I think they're going 2 laps of green. Looks like they're lining up for 1 to green.
Alrighty, so in this situation, folks, I try to put myself back together. In this situation here, if the driver's elected to not pit, they're going to be hurting. I mean, you want to pit right there, but you don't want to lose a stage point. So there you have it. Levi Allen is stage winner number 1. Dalton Kilrose in the 2nd place. So these guys up front, they're still on old tires. I'm trying to see if anybody pitted. We did have a few takers go down pit road. Chase Pierce, Chris Carroll, Mark Lewis, and Tim Trowbridge and Aiden Young. They were our 5 drivers that pitted. Now, with Chris Carroll, he's not completely damaged. I mean, he has damage, of course, but it's a short track. He'll be okay, barring any type of motor injury. And by looking at it, Willie, I mean, he's okay. He has no front end damage.
It looks like he's got a little bit of damage to the left side, left rear. Again, man, that's all me. I'm gonna have to keep saying this all broadcast. Totally my fault.
If we
it
don't,
looks like it doesn't look like it's affecting him. It looks like he's got by a couple cars here on the restart. So hopefully he can get this thing rolling and get her back up front.
I feel like you're Chris Carroll's number 1 fan right now, brother. I
am 100% Chris. I am number 1 on the Chris Carroll fan club. I'm gonna send him all kinds of stuff, get him to sign some stuff. I'll be the ambassador for Chris Carroll tonight.
Right on, brother, right on. I'm seeing a big wreck right up in front of them. A big wreck, Jason Day.
Oh, looks like Daniel Hendren's in there.
Yeah, I'm seeing Keith Taylor, Jason Day, Daniel Hendren. Let's pull it back and see what happened here. As the 07 is underneath the 52. Oh, man. I don't know if you're watching on my screen. I'm sharing my screen in Discord. That way you can see exactly what the viewers are saying, Willie. That one's hard to...
That just looked like racing coming off of the turn there.
And then just nowhere to go Luckily for the 52 did not get a lot of damage. Let's go with Daniel Hendry. Let's ride with him and see if he got significant damage right here. Oh, I don't like seeing the front of that truck hit the wall, but didn't know his brakes either, but that was actually no harm, no foul there. That could have.
It just looks like the things with these trucks is, man, they, on short tracks like this, they are so finicky. They're not like a short track late model or a modified where you can kind of beat and bang a little bit. These trucks are so tough to get when you're side by side, and God forbid somebody touches you, you're either around or you're going into somebody else. It's tough to keep these things straight when somebody's beating on you.
Right, and that's a driver's perspective right there. I mean, Willie Abraham races in this series. Thank God he's up in the booth with me. I love having people in the booth with me, dude. That was crazy, man. I'm still not fully put together. I can't look at Chris Carroll's truck the same right now, man. I look at it, Willie, and I cry. I cry when I look at it, just from laughter, not even sadness. That was awesome.
Oh, I'm crying for being sad because, man, I have
You
raced
had a
with
good
Chris for
truck
a
too.
long time.
You had a good truck too. That's the thing. Like, you took out your chances with self spin, and then that was out of your control though. Like, that's what I want people to understand at home. That was out of your hands. You had no control over that.
It's crazy. I mean, I don't think a lot of people look at iRacing as like a video game, or you don't got a real world factors and the things, and like that was a real world factor to me. I mean, you can't control what these trucks do or what iRacing's going to do or glitch out with the motor issues, or even last week with the modifieds. I mean, I had a fast repair and it didn't work.
Right.
The left front of my modified was, after a fast repair, was sitting on my air cleaner. So I mean, there's a lot of factors that it might not be the same thing as real world racing, but there's a lot of iRacing factors that go into it that are, I'd say, the same or a little bit. I'd say the equivalent of real world factors.
I mean, like,
it's called iRacing world factors.
So you said that you heard it said watch the engine temperature or whatever, right? And then as soon as they said that, basically moments notice, boom, she was exploding, right?
Yeah, man, it
That's
was
crazy.
It said the engine. It said, watch your engine temps; they're getting high. And next thing I know, she's blowing smoke, and I got the wheel to the left to go into turn one, and she's going to the right. So it's like the rear end locked up on me, man. Like I said, I'm gonna praise it all night. Being here in the booth with you, I'm sorry for Chris Carroll. So looks like we're getting ready to go green here. So I won't praise too much. Let's watch these boys race.
That's the 03. Finally, one of the leaders took the outside. I've said all night, I think the outside will be the preferred lane. Now, Willie, you can tell me different. You've been inside the truck. I have not taken a single lap tonight. Which lane do you think is the most dominant lane here?
I like the outside here. I'm a huge dirt racing guy, so I love the outer lines. I mean, catfishing kind of works places, but I feel like the truck can get a little bit roll, a little bit more momentum on the outside. Don't have to use that much brake, and just let the momentum take you. So I'm a huge fan of the outside. I think that's going to come into play.
You said an interesting thing right there, and I've heard my dad say it before, but I don't know the true meaning of it when you say catfishing. Explain to our viewers what you mean by that.
Ah, man, catfishing's a huge dirt racing term. I mean, you got the guys like that'll run the fence, and you guys got the guys that'll run the outer lanes, and then you guys got the guys that'll run the as slow as they can. They're catfishing. They're
on the bottom. Right.
Feeding.
That's what I thought, but I was not ever 100%. I heard my dad say it a bunch. At my local short track, it's something like a Stafford, but it's bigger. It's like a 5/8 mile, so it's a little bit bigger, faster. And he would always tell people, you can't catfish the corners. And I would hear that being a kid, and then you said that. You're the second person I think I've ever heard say that, so that's pretty cool to hear that.
Yeah, it's cool. A lot of guys where I'm from are dirt racers, and that's a huge term around from where I'm from. So,
so it's a dirt racing term though, more or less?
Yeah,
or
I think
anywhere.
it's a dirt racing term.
I got you.
I've heard it more. My dirt buddies have been the ones that have said it.
I got you. So see, you learn something every night here on the 5 King Motorsports YouTube channel. As Levi Allen, he looks to be fast right now, but I think Joe got him a win last week. That 27 may have something for the 03 here tonight.
You got to remember, Joe started at the back of this field too.
That's the thing. He's had to endure 16, 17 other trucks. I'm not sure how many we actually started. And 27 looks fairly clean. It does not look to have any damage whatsoever. So, I mean, he got his way through the field cleanly and quickly, as we're just now on lap number 54. Next stage break will be the end of lap number 70. That'll be stage 2. Will Levi Allen be able to sweep stages, or will Joe the Show have something to say about that?
Man, I'm looking. I mean, Levi's holding his own, and Joe looks like he's hunting them down. But I mean, both very good-looking trucks. Don't look like they both have a lot of damage. Looks like Christian Pittman sitting in their third, seeing what's going on with these two up front. So he's another short track ringer, man. He's probably one of the best that can follow and save his equipment. And next thing you know, it's 5 to go, and Christian Pittman's leading this thing.
Right. You mentioned a word right then. Save. We saw these drivers top 10 for sure. Did not pit. They did not take tires. And I mean, we heard all practice setup's really tight. Got to take care of that right front tire. So as this run starts to go on, especially as we get close to the stage break, I think they're already feeling the tightness. I can already tell the times have fallen off by, not as much as I thought though, Willie. They've only fallen off by 5/10. So Levi Allen's best lap is an 18:28, actually fastest on track. And that time around, he went with an 18:72, so about 5/10 off. So tire wear's not as huge as what I thought. Now, there has been a few caution laps, but not a whole lot, really.
Yeah, I mean, caution laps are huge key, and I think at big places like that, like you look at your miles, your mile and a halves, but short tracks, I mean, it's a lot of wear and tear on your car, but I mean, short track racing or short track caution laps don't really save your stuff that much, I don't think. But you gotta think these guys got a little bit of brake bias control in these trucks. They can adjust a little bit on their on what they're feeling. So I'm curious to know at the end of the stage of what guys are doing to make their cars turn a little bit.
Absolutely. We'll actually talk to at least one of our drivers. We're going to go through the field really quick. We've already seen Levi Allen, Joe Burchett, Christian Pittman. That's our top 3 right now. Dalton Kilroy in the F Cancer Daddy-O's machine. He's currently in the 4th place spot, up 7 spots when he hit the grid. Trey Hoovler, he's been a driver on the move, and I noticed he's showing number 51, supposed to be 54. That fell through the cracks here tonight. Trey Hoovler, he's worked up 12 spots since he hit the grid. He's in 5th. Jason Day's in 6th. Tim Trowbridge is in 7th. Jason Raymond is in 8th. Cindy Taylor's 9th. And Chris Carroll, he's holding down the 10th place spot right now. Keith Taylor's in 11th. Aiden Young's in 12th, but not for long because Daniel Hendricks to his inside. 71 and the 69 are doing battle door to door. It's F-150 crime on F-150 crime. Here, who's going to prevail here? Inside lane looks like got it fairly easy right there. Crossover move maybe not to be. So Aiden Young is falling back to the 13th spot. Joshua Siegfried is in the 14th spot with Chase Pierce holding down the last spot of the drivers that are currently running as Mark Lewis has pulled it into the holler. Ooh, I just saw something right there, Willie. Look, Chase Pierce is coming out of turn number 4 now. Levi Allen's coming out of turn number 4 now. Could be lap traffic before the stage is up. About 5 laps to go, 6 laps to go.
Yeah, it looks like Levi's and Joe have definitely got pace right now. I mean, it looks like they're both. Joe's definitely mirroring Levi's line. He looks like he's being smooth, trying to get just a little bit of brake control, and that split second of either on the brake, off the brake, or on the gas, off the gas is a huge difference if you're chasing somebody down. And looks like Joe's kind of feeling Levi up. Looks like he might be good for riding in second until the end of the stage, but he's definitely learning some stuff for the final stage here.
This final stage is going to be 75 laps. So I said lap 70. It's actually 75, so that's on me. Oh, no, it is 70. I'm an idiot. So that's, you're going to have 80 laps.
I also know something. I fell through the cracks too. I had my number set for a different league tonight, and I'm actually got the 19 on the truck, and I had 91 in register, so.
Was you?
Yeah.
I'm going to, oh, wow. Wow.
I get an EOL next week.
No, you're good.
I'm just gonna come up to the booth. I'm gonna practice a little bit, get a little feel for the trucks, and
that'd be good with me.
I'm gonna come in the booth.
I love company in the booth, and you're doing a good job at it. You actually got a good voice for it, and you're very, very knowledgeable. You grew up around it. I mean, you're freaking Uncle's Ray Evernham, crying out loud. So obviously you know a thing or two about this racing, and especially short track racing.
Yeah, man, I love short track racing. I don't think it gets a.
It's a dying breed.
love this. It is, and I hate what TV's doing to it. And I mean, I'm super stoked for. Maybe this is a personal thing, but here
We
in
all
North
are.
Carolina, we just North Wilkesboro, huge fan of that racetrack. It's so much history. My uncle and Jeff actually won the last race there, but I mean, like. Such a cool thing. They just got a bill that promotes $18 million to refurbish the racetrack, and they're starting to do that. They started tearing the old stuff down. They're getting ready to start refurbishing. So, huge personal thing for me in short track racing there.
What do you think the chances are? Do you truly feel? I don't know if NASCAR will go back there. Now I say that. I mean top division NASCAR, but I could see like your Uncle Series SRX going back there for sure, as Levi Allen is our Stage 2 winner here tonight. We think chances are SRX goes back there, or goes there.
I'd love to see something like SRX, but honestly, like with North Wilkesboro, I'd rather MC local late model shows, modified shows, short track racing, get some street stocks out there every week, maybe have a truck race or two during the year, maybe even a bush race, but that's it. I don't want to see the cup cars there. I want to see down home short track racing.
Grassroots racing, like I was supposed to be, right?
Yes, sir.
I got you. I would love personally to see SRX there. So I was supposed to go to the Nashville Fairgrounds SRX race, and I didn't get to. I was really bummed out about it. I had a sick kid, and was really bummed out about that. So I didn't get to see an XRX race, and I'm sure you did. So I'm pulling for the we'll call them the home team, SRX boys. So Ray Evernham, Tony Stewart. So I just figured when you were going with that, you said you're excited for short track race. I thought that's where you were going with it, but then you didn't with a switch hit. You said North Wilkesboro, but I'm excited about that too. That's a really cool deal. I just hope they get the right promoter in there. You know that wants what you want right there, what you just said.
Absolutely, and the same thing goes with it. I'm a Carolina boy, been here for as long as I can remember. I just love to see anywhere. I'm an advocate for short tracks all across the country. I might be a little partial to North Carolina, but if anybody's listening here, go support your local dirt track or your local asphalt track, or go watch them boys that work all week and 9 to 5 and go work on their stuff after work and go racing on Saturdays or Friday nights. That's
and
all I
don't
can
make
say.
a buck doing it. They're out so much money getting to the track. My dad's motto was just get me enough money when I go to the pay gate to pay my fuel to get back here. And if he did, that was a good night.
Exactly right.
As Mr. Mama Raymond in the chat says, 5 King Motorsports, they need 3 more hits of the sub button. That way we can see Jason Raymond running around the house in his boxers. And she says it's cold up there in Connecticut. So if you want to envision the thought, which I don't, but if you want to envision the thought of Mr. Jason Raymond to run around his house in his undies, hit us to 100 subscribers. I may make a video of it if we actually hit 100 here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I just want to know what he did to make his mom mad for that. She's
I can't believe she said that. I'm very proud of her. I'm very proud of you, Mama Raymond. Very proud.
We got to change for third spot here. Dalton Kilroe beat Christian Pittman off pit road here, so this might be interesting.
Looking at the pit stops here, Chris Carroll did not take tires, and Chase Pierce are the only 2 drivers that didn't take tires that were green flag racing. As you see, double foul. I didn't want to talk over you, Willie. I waited for a second to see if you were going. You wasn't going, so I got it. 41 is looking to the inside of the 14, but I don't know. That 14's been fast on the short runs all night. 14 also started in the back. Did not get to put a lap down. He actually wrecked, and it discounted both laps. A tough break for him, but...
And as you saw there, he used the outside to get around the 41.
Right.
I mean, like I said, I think the outside might come into play here. Maybe a lane and a half up. I think that's going to come into play.
This is a weird track. So typically these short tracks, you think, oh, you got to be on that yellow line. And like you said, catfishing. A lot of tracks you do have to. But the way the banking is set up on this track, you see where the track's darkest at, and that's dark like that. That's the rubber from the tires. That's just buildup. They're just breaking that line in, and that's because they keep going about a full groove up, I'd call it, and that's how you get around New Smyrna, the fast way. I mean, that's just it. As I'm actually seeing cautions on the speedway, as I know the 66 has some fans in the stands, so please cover your eyes as we pull up the Band Racing Videos wreckage replay and see what happened to the 66 here.
Oh man, it looks like he just pulled the same thing I did. Got loose coming off 4, hit right at the victory lane there, man. That's a tough shot because that did. I mean, I know.
That's
we
deja
obviously know
vu.
what happened to me. I mean, it
yeah.
really is.
That's
Man, it must
almost
be them black. You know what it is? It's them black and red trucks.
Yep.
It's got to be it.
Yep. Ray's mad, dude. He's not happy at
Oh,
all.
Ray's pissed.
I was gonna say if I don't cuss on here, that's funny. I said earlier.
Oh, was I not supposed to?
No,
Be?
you're
Oh, I'm
good.
sorry.
You're good. We'll let the first one slide. That's awesome, bro. Ray's pissed. There we go.
No, you said it, so we're even.
yeah. I was gonna let it ride too, because earlier when you raked, I was like, "Oh man, Ray's mad," and then you said Ray's pissed. That's a little joke. I think it started between you and Brandon, right? And then it just.
Oh yeah, man, it's been a thing ever since I joined iRacing. And at first when I joined iRacing, I wanted nothing to do with like the E stuff, and I was like, man, it's always been my number. So I was like, man, I'm gonna start putting the E's on my 19s and my 91s and my
Right.
9s, and whatever number I can come up with. And then it just kind of escalated. One league, somebody was like, "Oh, Ray's gonna be pissed, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, Ray's gonna be pissed." So I mean, it's just kind of started, and Mettler was in the league, and so it's kind of a running joke between everybody, and I think it kind of works out.
Oh, it's funny, man. It's funny if Willie ever does anything, and I'm talking minute, it could be something to spin the tires. Ray's pissed. That's just the way it is, dude. But honestly, you said when you first started this, you try to venture away from the E. Although Ray's not your father, he's your uncle. There's a shadow right there, right? I couldn't imagine growing up with somebody that close to me that's famous. So, especially in the same space that he is, basically racing at your local short tracks. It's a good thing, and then it could be a bad thing, right?
Oh, it's a huge. Let me say first, it's a huge honor. I mean, I'm proud of my last name.
Absolutely.
It's great. I'm glad people love to see it. I'm glad to hear the stories of people talking about my uncle and Jeff, and when he started Dodge, and Bill Elliott and Casey Kane and Mayfield and Sadler and all them guys. But at the same time, I kind of want to create my own stuff. So it's been tough, but I've kind of learned to embrace it, because it's one of those things where it's a huge meaningful thing to me. So like the E on the number is a huge thing to me. So I run it on everything I can. Just to keep the name going, just because it's such a huge thing in NASCAR or any kind of racing.
And I mean, the Abraham number font, the way they did the 9 and 19, that's legendary. I mean, that's going to live on way past us, I mean, I see that and I think instantly, that's an Abraham number, so that's pretty cool. And I love that you run it. And I could never picture you running anything else. As we've seen a good restart here, as Don Gilder on that 41 may have something for the 27 if he can get a good enough run. We talked about the outside all night, but it looks like Joe Burchett's going to be too strong on the insides. They're still battling, though, side by side.
Dalton's one of the best. I mean, he's very calm, cool, and collective. He's smart. He's very intricate on his moves. So I think if anybody could pull this thing on the outside, I think it's him. But as you see, he's diving down behind the 27, so he must not have found something up there that we saw earlier, something like what Pittman pulled on him earlier.
Right. And now I want to get back to the last name. I don't want to just stay on it, but you used to race in real life. When you would show up, maybe not at your home track, but did you ever travel to other tracks much, Willie?
Oh man, I was all over, up and down I went from Florida to, I think the farthest I went to New York. So
wow.
I mean, I was up and down the East Coast. Did a little stuff in the Midwest, Tennessee. I think I went to Kentucky once. So East Coast to Midwest.
So when you would pull up some tracks, you'd be a hero to some and a villain automatically to others, right?
Oh yeah,
right.
You'd find out who the Gordon fans are and who the Earnhardt fans were in a heartbeat.
Right, and that's what I was getting to, is that Ray Evernham happened to crew chief for one of the, I was going to say one of the most, but I think the most polarizing drivers. We see the 41 actually give lane to Christian Pittman, but Gordon was the most polarizing driver, him and Earnhardt both, So I can only imagine going to some of them short tracks, especially because back then NASCAR was in its heyday, the most popular it's ever been. You know.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't realize is like when Jeff was when he won his first championship and started winning races a lot, him and Earnhardt were buddies.
Right.
Yeah, on the track they had a rivalry, but if it wasn't for Earnhardt, Jeff and him went in the business together, and that's a lot of the stories that people don't get to hear. I've heard from my uncle and from other people just around the racing world. It's crazy. Like, yeah, there was a rivalry, but their rivalry was selling T-shirts.
And well, Gordon has gave it, as we saw context when 71 and 41. Gordon said in an interview that Earnhardt told him to milk it, to play to it, because when they did that like you said, sold T-shirts, and that created intrigue because they acted like they didn't like each other on the track, and I don't think they ever talked bad about each other in interviews at all. It was mainly the fans that acted on, you know, but they never started away from it either, though, and that's what made it so great.
And that's the thing is, if you watch when Jeff won his first, the coolest story I heard from my uncle is when they were when Jeff won his first championship. Earnhardt used to call him the kid and stuff, and he couldn't drink and stuff, or he was too young to drink, but he really wasn't. So he started drinking milk at the championship deal, and Earnhardt was there toasting with a glass of milk as well. So it's that kind of stuff that really brings racing into light for me. And I'm a huge historic NASCAR fan. Love what Dale Jr.'s doing with like the history of the race cars and stuff, and I wish I could get more into that. I wish I could teach. I wish there was like a NASCAR history class, and I'd probably be signing up for teaching that.
Right. I mean, you've seen it from basically all walks of life. You've worked in a race shop, stuff like that. So like, you've been closer than a lot of people can dream of being. So I can only imagine just the little nuanced stuff that you do know and have seen.
The one thing that I think that if I were to teach people a thing about NASCAR teams is it's a family. You are brothers and sisters, from the crew chief to the tire guy. I mean,
right.
Somebody's sick, you cover it's like anything else, you cover their back. I mean, I was a shot guy on a race team, but I also helped on the front end and rear end. I mean, I'd get my hands dirty just as much as somebody else would help me build shock. So it's a huge family, and I think a lot of people don't see that from the outside. I mean, we every week we see each other more than we see our families.
Absolutely.
And it's a huge family, and I did it for so long, and I've met a lot of great people along the way, and I still consider a lot of them family.
So we'll go off the NASCAR talk after this last question, because I know you have roots in it. Like, you're close to it. This next gen car, they're outsourcing so much of the car. I think it's outright dumb. I really do. Think about all the well, this is kind of a derogatory term. I don't mean it that way, but the smaller guys within the team. You know, the guys that do the minute stuff, you know, some of them are going to be out of a job, you know. So, like, what do you feel about the next gen car, how it's going to do as far as the economy? Because they say it's going to be cheaper. The first 5 years, it ain't going to be cheaper.
So I still got some friends in racing, and they're dealing with a lot of the next gen stuff, and a lot of the next gen parts are a lot more expensive than what we got now. And I'll be the first advocate. I wasn't a friend of the COT or the Gen 6 or whatever. I miss the guys that, to me, racing is a set of rules, and you build the car to go as fast as you can.
Right.
I don't want the racing to be good. I don't think we have to have cars side by side for 170 laps.
I agree.
I think racing is the guys who build the fastest cars are going to win the race.
They take the rules from the sanctioning body, and if there's a loophole, they find it. That's what they need to do.
And I might be biased to this, but I mean, my uncle wrote half. I'd say 80% of the rule book is written because of Abraham.
Right.
But when I grew up in racing, it was like the early 2000s, the 06s, and like the Twisted Sister cars or whatever they call them, the Gen 4s. The amount of time and the art that went into those cars, you'll never really understand, because 80 hours on an English wheel for one fabricator to build one fender for one speedway car or a Charlotte car or an intermediate car. I guess an intermediate car is a Charlotte car, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Right.
art. To me, a race car is art and it's power. And if you're the best at both, I think then you should win races.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, they say it's going to level the playing field between, we'll say, your JTGs and your Joe Gibbs. But I just don't see it. I think the haves are still going to be haves, and the have-nots will still be have-nots over the course of a few years. I truly think if the big guys want to smash the small guys, as Levi Allen's checked out on second place, but if the big guys want to smash on the small guys, they're still going to do it. It's racing. I mean, it's a dollar and cents game, regardless. At the end of the day, there's brains in it, but local short track racing, it's dying because of the price it does cost to go racing now. My dad got out of the sport because it got too expensive. He wasn't making money when he was racing. He was doing it as a hobby. And like I said earlier, he tried to make enough money, just have fuel to get back to the car or back to the track in the car. And can't really do it nowadays.
And that's the thing, is what I see at places like Hickory and where I used to race is, I used to race late model stock. And yeah, it was expensive, a little bit more than the street stock, but you can make things work. It wasn't break the bank. You weren't spending all this money on, you aren't spending all this money on engineering and stuff. And now late models have gotten into that. Like, you have to have a stupid, like a $500,000 budget just to go late model stock racing.
There was a heat race down at Nashville Fairgrounds. There was 4 cars on the track, and I looked over to Emily, my fiance, and I said, "How much think them cars cost?" She's like, "I don't know, 50, 60,000." I was like, "Are those 4 or 5 cars up there? We got over $1 million sitting on that track right now." And she's like, "There's no way." I was like, "Oh, you got over $1 million up there, without a shadow of a doubt." That's not even counting the backup car they have in the fancy hauler they can pull it up in and everything, you know."
And that's the thing is, like, our late models did cost 50 grand, and that was for brand new. I mean, I started racing late models in 06, 07, and our car was in 01, 2001, and it was just as good as anything else. I just needed to learn a little bit more, and our motors, I mean, thank God we had Dodge Power back then, but I mean, it was a completely different thing of what it is now. I mean, there was no bump stops, there was no anything. It was literally just short track racing, and it sucks because it's taken away from them guys who work 9 to 5 every day and then go racing on Saturdays. I'd rather watch them guys than some rich kid come in with all this money to go win $500 to race, or $500 win races at Hickory. I'd rather go see the guys who bust their ass all week. Sorry for the French, but I would. I'd rather go see them guys win races than some rich kid come in here and not know what he's doing and go win races just because he's got $1 million equipment.
Absolutely. As we were talking right then, I saw Joe Burchett. His car stepped out on him a little bit, so maybe starting to see some tire wear come into play here as we're now on lap 119 of 150. I want to thank y'all for keeping with us here. We've been talking NASCAR, but get to Everingham up here with you. It's power's knowledge, and I love learning about anything really in life. I told people I learned more when I got out of high school than what I learned throughout my 12 years of school. So power is knowledge, and knowledge is power. So, but right now, that 27 looks like he needs a little bit more power to stay with that 03, as Christian Pittman's trying to get around the lap car of Keith Taylor in the 08. Going to try to get there to the 27 of Joe Burchett, but just not able to do it. As we were talking right then, I seen Keith Taylor actually went for on the spin cycle a little bit. You see a little bit of damage to the right rear of that truck, so he may be down on a little horses.
And what I'm looking at here is Jason Day, man. He's got a little damage to that truck, but he's been consistent. He's been running these guys down. He's up to 4th right now, and he was involved in that incident back at the beginning of the race. So I'm kind of curious to see what he's got for the rest of this deal.
I think that 52 and the 52 camp, I think they are just wanting a caution to come out, re-rack the field, bunch them all back up. As I see Dalton Kilroe currently holding down the 5th place spot. Got Chris Carroll right there behind him. But these guys are on a long green flag run right now. I can't remember when the last caution came out. But, I mean, they've been out here for a while, so the tires are gone. They're shot at this point. About 30 laps into a run, well, I mean, when I was practicing with the setup earlier this week, the tire fall off was pretty significant. Not as far as lap times, but as far as how the truck felt. You see both guys right there, 99 and the 41, both bobble as soon as the 99 got to the inside. But I think that 99 is trying to get back out front where he felt he belonged. Earlier incident brought him out of that to the 99. It's just basically trying to salvage a points night here. Got the 41, Dalton Kilder, right there in front of him. I think the 99 might be a little faster than the 41 right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what incident brought.
Don't get me started, bro.
But no, I'm glad to see Carroll's recovered from our incident earlier. Looks like he's going to the inside of Dalton here, and looks like he's going to grab that spot. Looks like that truck's kind of come into itself. Looks like that truck is better on old tires, or maybe the 41 is lacking a little bit on trying to race them guys from the third spot up. But it looks like Chris is just running his line and keeping that thing as smooth as possible.
Yeah, I mean, we raced with 99. We've turned thousands of laps when we know Carroll. You can never count that 99 out, no matter what track you're at, no matter how many laps are left. We now under 25 to go. We got currently 24 to go on the board. Chris Carroll has his eyes set ahead. Fastest truck on the track that time around, though, was none other than Jason Day's number 52. So, what you said earlier is right. He just does not have the track position right now. He needs to make up that real estate in between him and Christian Pittman for the third place spot.
Man, I've watched Jason Day, and I've raced with him a long time here, it feels like. But it means it's just like he can run. It's like, man, Jason's struggling today, and then 50 laps to go, he's damn near leading the race. So I don't know how he does it every week or every series, really. It don't matter if it's a super late model or a modified or a truck or an ARCA car. Somehow he figures it out.
As we just saw, Jason Raymond and Chase Pierce both go a lap down. So this long green flag run is hurting some of these competitors. It's done put them a lap down to the race leaders. Our race leader right now, Levi Allen, I think he's in a different wheelhouse. I mean, he is he's proven to have that 03 hooked up on the bottom. He is running right down by the yellow line too, so he's may have figured out something that these other drivers haven't. Of course, right after I say that, he runs the middle groove. I mean, I wouldn't expect nothing else, but that 03 is on rails here tonight. About a 1.5 second lead over our second place, Joe Burchett. We're actually going to jump on board with Levi Allen. I want to see how much he's turning that wheel, because these drivers did complain about a tight truck. With a fixed setup, everybody's in the same equipment. As you see, he's turned the wheel quite a bit. Not as much as what I was expecting. And I see lap traffic out his windshield might come into play in the next 19 laps or so.
Man, he's turning it quite a bit, but man, it looks like he is on a Sunday drive, just hitting his marks and doing everything he can to keep that truck out front, and he's making it look easy, man. It looks like he's on autopilot, ready to win this race.
These short tracks, they're fascinating to me, because you get on a long green flag run like this, these tracks are so momentum based. You can't really, it's hard to really describe it to somebody, but like you just mentioned, autopilot. That's the best way to describe it. You just start clicking off laps, and before you know it, you hear, all right, driver, 10 to go. And you're like, oh, wow, we're 10 to go, you know? And it's just you get in a zone, and he said hit your mark. So you pick out a mark on the track, you're like, okay, I'm going to lift here, I'm going to brake here. And then you got another mark, I'm going to get on the gas here. And that's what drivers do. You have to, I mean, to be the fastest. And everybody tries to push that mark, you know, and try to get faster and faster and faster, and that's when self-spin, stuff like that happens. But right now, Levi Allen, he is just cruising, and fast truck on the track at time 19:15 is Mr. Levi Allen.
As you're on board with Levi Allen, I'm watching the 99 catch the 52 here. Got Jason Raymond in front of him. So, I mean, this is a pretty good battle for fourth.
And these are points right here, folks. Every driver you can get by, that's another point in your point bag. And the points are going to come into play hot and heavy at the end of the season. 52 gets loose. Going to allow the 99 to get around, but now the 44 could play blocker here if he wanted to for teammate Jason Day. I don't think he's going to, but that 99, man, he's fast. He's fast in traffic, too. He's not just out by himself like Levi Allen. He's in traffic having to mitigate it all, go down low, go up high, and he made both passes right there, textbook.
Yeah, I mean, that was about as sexy as you can get on a short track. I mean, it looks like that thing is So he's found something. I mean, and whether it's better on old tires or everybody else is struggling. Like I said, I mean, it's been a long green flag run. So Chris Carroll, you can't count out. Like I said, I'm going to be a huge advocate for him tonight. But man, even when we don't get involved in a wreck together, I mean, he is so smooth and so on his marks. It's ridiculous. It's like he has an autopilot, and he might have lent that to Levi Allen tonight because Levi is on rails.
I'm gonna actually do something I hardly ever do. I'm gonna pull Dalton up because the fuel run, you can only go about 70 laps. I don't know if they actually have enough fuel to finish the race, Willie. So let me see real quick.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Hero, you got Willie and Tanner in the booth. I know you're racing. I'm sorry, but want to get your word on what the fuel's like.
It's gonna be tight for pretty much everybody except Chris Carroll because he topped off under that caution. Everybody else who pit at the stage and hasn't pit since is gonna be very tight. I'm like a lap to the good myself, but I'm also down on power because I hit the wall here on the front stretch like an idiot. And yeah, I just been trying to hold on to it because I got no tires left.
Oh, right on, right on. Well, thank you for that info, Dalton. Good luck to you, buddy.
Hey, good luck, Dalton.
Nice, there you hear it. It's gonna be close. I knew it was gonna be close when we mapped out the stages tonight, and Dalton said that. I was like, oh, so you might not be able to make it all the way. And so
I'm still following Jason Day here, and I just saw Aiden Young coming out of the pit. So I mean, pit
oh
stops
yeah,
might
yeah,
be
pits are
starting.
happening. Daniel Hendry's on pit road now as well. Oh, Daniel has significant damage. I think something's happened that we didn't see. The telltale box is not telling me he wrecked. Now, I know he got involved in an earlier incident, Willie, but I don't think he had that much damage.
No, I believe he was involved in that second caution, and that truck was definitely not that banged up.
He may have got a exit pit road penalty right there. It looked like he crossed the track right there. Darrell Waltrip had a good saying on these short tracks. You got the right side of your truck dinged up, you've been racing. If you got the driver's side of your truck all dinged up, you've been getting raced on. So at least the 71 looks like he's been racing because the driver's side's clean, but that passenger side's all beat up. As Levi Allen's on pit road, Joe Burchett's on pit road. Sorry to cut you off. I apologize.
Chris Carroll just got this position, sitting P1 right now, just past Christian Pittman.
Right, and you heard Dalton right then. He knows Chris Carroll's good because he topped off. That 99 truck may be setting sail now, folks. He does have enough fuel. Will the 14 have enough fuel? The 14's been riding. Christian may have been playing chess while everybody's playing checkers. He may have been saving some fuel for that, for the end of this race here. We're now 4 laps to go. Going to be 3 laps to go this time by the stripe as Kristen gets really loose in front of the lap car, Aiden Young. Man, oh man, this is when drivers get desperate. And what I mean by that is, if they know they don't have enough fuel, they may try something silly. They may try to spin the truck out, self-spin. They may try to spin somebody out, you know? And I've seen it happen, Willie. I'm sure you've seen it happen. Drivers will get desperate when fuel starts coming to the factor.
Man, but as you see, I mean, it looks like the 69 took tires there, and I mean, you could see the difference between the tires that
the eye test
that, like Carroll and Pittman are on, and I mean, Aiden Young just took off.
Just not enough time left for the 69, the New Hampshire Rocket, as he is called. But white flag is out. It don't matter what they do. We saw the 99 getting an earlier incident with the driver that we're talking to, Willie Evernham. No fault of his own. Blew his motor, took the 99, but the 99 said, Willie, hold my beer. I'm putting it back in victory lane. Chris Carroll's our first time repeat winner of the Crooked Line Racing Saturday Night Super Truck Series. Want to thank y'all for tuning in as we're getting ready to see the USA Firearms.com number 99 machine burn it down one more time. I know he's going to be happy about this one. And you know what, Willie? Typically, we do the interviews. Whoever's in the booth helping me, they do 3rd and 2nd place, and then I do the winner. This time, I'm doing 3rd and 2nd, and I'm going to allow you the honors to interview the race winner as Chris Carroll burns it down for us.
I don't know if he's forgiven me yet. I don't know if we should do that just yet.
He's Canadian. He's chill. Canadians
is true.
They're a different breed. As I want to note on something here, Lee Raymond, that's Tammy Raymond, that's Mama Raymond. She said, great information. He is right. Love seeing the men and women who work all week and still race and have no backup money go out there and win races. And in all caps, love seeing that. So definitely have some other supporters out there as Mama Raymond. I think it's her brothers. It may be her brothers or brother-in-law that Jason Raymond helps get out to the local racetrack every single week in their late model program and go out there and race. So she knows firsthand what it takes to get out there to the racetrack.
If Mama Raymond says she wants me to continue in the booth with you, I'm never going to race on Saturday again. I'm just going to come up here in the booth with you.
Well, Mama Raymond, please say it, because I love helping the booth. As Chris Carroll parks it right where he wants to be. As I see right there, racing for Breast Cancer Awareness 2011. That's pretty cool. I reckon put that in. But without any further ado, let's pull up our third place finisher, Mr. Jason Day. Jason Day, you got Tanner Marr, Willie Evernham in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
So after an earlier incident, you was able to keep the 52 truck somewhat clean. Now, a little scraped up, but no harm, no foul on the short track. Talk me through your race coming back up to P3.
Yeah, it wasn't quite what I wanted. I think I had a truck to win here, maybe not from Chris, but fuel mileage played in effect. But I got caught up with 2 cars tonight, and I kind of hurt my truck pretty good, and I had quite a bit of damage, but I didn't want to get it fixed and lose track position.
So you said you think you may have had the fastest or a truck to do battle with, and you sure enough did. For about 5 to 6 laps there, you was the fastest truck on the field. Then when Chris Carroll got out front, of course he was the fastest, but he knew he had enough fuel, so he didn't have to play that type of cat and mouse game. So the 52 truck was looking strong. Good points night for you, so going to keep you still solid in the points, as I think you came into tonight leading the points, right?
That's correct. And I was hoping for just a decent finish. I don't think I had the speed for Levi or Joe or even Chris that they were pushing pretty hard, and I knew they were going to be close on fuel. I was actually, Christian and I were both like 4 laps short of fuel, and we saved 4 laps of fuel.
Y'all did a really good job saving, because I didn't even pick up on that. So y'all wasn't. I think the whole racing, holding in the clutch, shutting it off in the corner, stuff like that, that's not racing to me. And I know you feel the same way, Jason. I hated that it actually shook out like that tonight, with it being a fuel miles race there at the end. But still, you prevailed. You brought the 52 back up front where it deserved to be. Top 3 finish here tonight. Who you got to thank to make that 52 truck so fast on and off the track each and every week?
First of all, I got to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. I'm doing a great job. It's always fun to go back and watch them. You guys do a great job all the time. Thank MF Designs, Savage Edge Apparel, Maconi Setup Shop, The Butt Kicker, FB Button Boxes, Raz Energy, BAM Racing Videos, and Crooked Line for putting on a great series. It's always fun racing with all these guys.
Right on, Jason. You sound like you've done that at timer 7, so congratulations on a good run here tonight, buddy. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again next week.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, and then now it's time for one of the newest returning members too, Five King Motorsports. Mr. Christian Pittman, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
So, Christian, I got a little birdie in my ear said you and Mr. Day, y'all was a little short on fuel there. Had to play chess when everybody else was playing checkers. Is that actually why Chris Carroll got around you there in the late stages of the run?
Yeah, I seen him coming, and he topped off with that caution, so he had about 6 more laps to the good than we were, and I saw him coming, and it was either, I could have tried to race him and hold him up and finish, 14th and have to pit like Levi and them did, or just let him go and take a second place. We already got the win at Daytona, so we're in the playoffs. It's really just more about stage points and getting good finishes, so I was willing to finish second just to not, run out of fuel, because there was 10 laps to go, and Dalton said we needed like a gallon to go to the end, and I had half a gallon, so I had to save 5 laps worth of fuel. So I wasn't going over like 85 miles an hour down the straightaway, just trying everything I could to make it. I actually stumbled crossing the start finish line.
So how bad does that feel, especially on a short track? You got 10 laps to go, you're up right at the front of the field, and you hear, hey, we're about half a gallon short. I mean, what goes through your mind there, honestly?
Well, the only kind of reinsurance I had behind me was I knew Levi and Joe were running the crap out of their cars.
Right.
So I knew that there's just no way they were going to make it because I started cutting off the engine going into the corners and coasting the corners with about 50 laps to go every single lap, just trying to stay disciplined to that. So when I heard I was still short, I was like, okay, so they've got to come to pit road. And I know Jason's in the same situation as me, and so is Dalton. The only guy I got to worry about really is Chris. So I was like, I'll just run my race. If Chris gets here, he can go by. Maybe we get a caution. If we don't get a caution, we'll take second. Because Jason, he was doing the same thing. We were all kind of communicating to each other like, hey, I've got, 0.6 gallons left. Hopefully we can make it.
Right on, brother. I mean, y'all played it fantastically if you were sputtering out as you crossed the line. Christian, let me hear who you got to thank for the number 14 here tonight.
I got to thank my grandparents always, my dad and my girlfriend, 5 Kings Motorsports. Haven't said that one in a while. 5 Kings Motorsports, Kicker, MF Racing Designs, and everybody on board with us, McConey Setup Shop. Of course, you for putting on the broadcast, and then you and Josh for putting on this league. I haven't been able to make it to a lot of these Saturdays, but hopefully starting now as winter comes, we'll be able to make some more.
Right on, it's Christian Pittman, our young gun, one of the young guns for 5 King Motorsports. He put it P2 tonight, 1 spot short from where I know he wanted to be, but still a great point tonight for the number 14. Congratulations, Pittman.
Thanks, Tanner.
Alrighty, folks, and then there was one, Mr. Chris Carroll. Before I hand it over to Willie, I want to say earlier in this broadcast, I lost complete composure. I was laughing hysterically, and now I'm going to give the floor to Mr. Willie Evernham.
First things first, Chris, man, I am so sorry for what happened earlier. Dude, I got in the wall, and I had no warning that the truck was going to blow up. The rear end locked up and took you out, but man, I was your biggest advocate for tonight to finish good, and then you come out here and kick everybody's butt and win the dang race.
I appreciate it, Willie. I was super mad in the moment. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wanted to choke you for a second, but I went and looked at the replay, and I saw that it blew up and the rear end locked up. So,
Tell. Wait, did you think it was on purpose at first, Chris? You thought he just TKO'd you, right?
I had no idea what happened, and I didn't want to get too mad on the radio.
Right. Man,
I knew I was up in the top groove, and I didn't know what happened.
It had a little bit of damage. Next thing I know, I got off the wall. I was trying to make it back to pit road. Then all of a sudden it said, "Oh, you got to better watch your water temperature." And then the thing's smoking and the rear end's locking up, and I'm going to the right as I'm turning left. Man, dude, he's
apologized.
I'm not gonna lie. I've apologized so many times tonight, and if you go back and we should probably have a counter of how many times I apologized, man. I felt so terrible.
Chris,
man, I wanted to kick my own butt, man. It sucks, and I mean I'm terrible sorry, but
well, if you'd have lost it like that, it's different. But you blew up. I watched the replay. I mean, you got to go back before you say anything too bad, or you get upset in the moment. You have to go back and watch the replay. And I remember saying, you're kidding me, right? And then I was like, you know what? Cool down. There's probably a good reason for it. Relax. Work on your own stuff and try and win the race. And I forgot about it and went to work. So, I mean,
man, we've raced together so many times, and there is not one time that I've ever thought about taking you out purposely. I'd never want to take you out purposely.
That's man.
And there's I wanted to kick my own ass. I'm not gonna lie, we're on broadcast, but I'm sorry, but I wanted to kick my own butt.
Man.
Yeah, well, it's racing, man. Stuff happens, and I knew there had to be a good reason before I said anything else on the mic. I stopped myself, and I was like, there has to be a reason for that. And I let it go, man. And I went back to work, so no worries, man.
Chris.
Racing, sometimes we die, right?
Something, but man, did you go to work or did you go to a clinic? Because you put these boys on. I mean, the left side of your truck was all tore up, obviously, and you got it repaired a few times. We watched you pit, but man, that thing was on rails once you got in traffic and the tires started to wear out.
I don't know.
He was racing mad at that point. He was racing mad at that point. He was a man on a mission.
I didn't know the fuel situation all that much. I knew it was going to be close, and I didn't even look at it. I literally topped up the last time. I still had 15 seconds of damage, and I thought to myself, I'm going to put my head down and see what this truck will do and see where I end up. And, I mean, it wasn't like I was like, hey, I'm going to win this race or something. I just trying to get up there as far as I could, and I was hoping to get to Pittman, and that was it.
Dude, I mean, like we watched you get around Pittman, and we watched her get around Kilrow, and I mean, them guys were struggling on tires and struggling on fuel, and it just looked like you were just on. You were just doing your thing,
different
making
planet.
the outside
A different
line work
planet.
and playing it. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. It looked like that you had the win. I mean, you obviously had a fast truck all night, and I kind of ruined it for the first part of the race. It's like, man, you definitely were on rails tonight, and I would have, if we wouldn't have gotten into our predicament, and this would have been an absolute slaughter for these guys.
Probably. Chris, I want to butt in and say, when you do watch the broadcast back, please don't get mad at me for laughing, because I was not laughing at you. It was just, I knew what happened. I saw him blow up, and it was like the worst case scenario that could ever happen when somebody blows up. They don't just wreck somebody, they wreck the leader, so like, man, oh man, I lost full composure. I could not put myself together. The caution was done. They was going back to grid, Chris, and I was still laughing. I could not help it, dude. Man, oh man.
Sometimes in racing, you can't believe it, right? I mean,
I was blown away. I was mind blown,
Chris,
dude.
I've raced with you for how long and how many races, and man, we might have got a 0x from bumping into each other going into a corner or anything but there's never anything malicious, and man, I was damn near in tears because I got into you.
He was sick, bro, and I pulled him up here. He was sick.
It would have been anybody in that position because, like I said, I was just trying to get back to pit road to get the damage fixed, and whether it be you or Pittman or anybody who was in that top group, man, I would have been absolutely just I was beside myself, and he pulled me up, and I was like, man, he's pulled me up, and I was depressed as anything else, and he wants me to come in the broadcast
and
room.
I'm laughing because I can't help it, dude. And I had to tell him, first thing I said was, Willie, I'm not laughing at you. Like, I had to let that be known. Chris, it's all said and done with. You parked it in victory lane. You're the first repeat winner of this series. I know that feels good, especially the circumstances. Congratulations to you, Mr. Carroll. That number 99 was on rails. Who do you got to thank for the victory here tonight?
Well, I got to thank USA Firearms. You know that. We got to thank those guys and Pit Lizard Performance and you guys for putting on the show. I probably have to thank Willie for winning tonight, to be honest. He put me in a position that I could make it on fuel, and I just drove the hell out of it from there.
I was going to say that when we closed up shop.
But Willie, no worries, man. Racing's racing, and the unthinkable happens out there sometimes, right? And it's out of our control. Like I went back and watched the replay. I hope you didn't think I was gonna come out here and cuss you out or something. I went back and
what lap was it? What lap was it, Carol?
I was prepared for it, man. And like I've never had anything on iRacing happen to me like that. Like, usually it blows up and you just push the clutch in and it rolls. Man, I had the clutch pushed in and the damn thing turned to the right like it had a mind of its own.
I saw it on the replay, but when that gear lets go, sometimes it does that. I've done that tons of times in practice where it just locks up and goes one way or the other. So,
what lap was it, Carol?
I was late 20s. I'd say 28, 29, somewhere in there.
Hold on. I think it was
But no, I went back and watched it, Willie. I didn't blow my fuse before I didn't go. That's a lesson in that too, right? I mean, there's times where you're mad and, in the moment you go back and look at the replay and sometimes it's your fault, right? So you keep your composure sometimes and just ride it out and then go look at it after.
Like I said, man, the last thing I want to do is wreck anybody, and I don't want to be. I was already pissed off that I wrecked myself, and like I said, man, I was kicking myself in the tail because of it, man.
Chris, did you even know he was coming up? So I got it on stream right now. I'm just winding it back.
No idea.
So I'm gonna go cockpit cam with you, and you can see I'm sharing my screen. If you want to see it, I don't know if you want to see it anymore, but it was just, oh my goodness, I would have killed you. I would have wanted to kill you too, dude. You can't tell.
I wanted to kill myself, dude.
Yeah, you cannot tell you blew your motor at all. You can see it now that we know it, like that we know it happened, But like during the time, you would never be able to pick that up.
Well, right there, I saw smoke, and I was like, "Oh, maybe he blew up." So I said, "You're kidding me, right?" And then I was like, "You know what? Leave it alone. Let's see how bad the truck is, and maybe, I know Willie enough that I know he wouldn't do it on purpose, right? I thought maybe his screen locked up, maybe he had, an issue like that, or But at the same time, you can't say too much, man. You got to let the situation go. And if you're, if you're any type of competitor, a lesson there is you put your head down and do what you can instead of complaining about it. Right?
Keep digging.
You
Just keep digging.
Do your job and try and get as far. I mean, I didn't think I'd ever win that race, but
like I said, I was getting ready to make the corner to stay on the bottom, and like you saw, the steering wheel went right to the right.
yeah,
Man,
I
oh,
didn't
man.
see the smoke until I watched the replay back, Willie. I didn't realize all I saw was your truck turn
Just
hard.
turn right.
But afterwards, when I went back and looked at the replay, I saw the smoke and I knew what happened, man. It's racing. It's a racing deal. We all are going to be in that spot at some
Everybody,
point. We're gonna do
right.
something silly, or our car's going to blow up, and we're going to take everyone out at Talladega. It's going to happen, right?
All right,
Like I was
guys.
telling Tanner earlier, it's like people don't think iRacing's got real life scenarios and stuff, and I mean, I think iRacing has its own set of circumstances like that, man. I couldn't control that, and last week we had an issue with the modified and the fast repair, and my left front hanging off the air cleaner after I used my fast repair. So
Hey, man, the
iRacing
race
has
cars
its
are
own.
fake. The race cars are fake. The racetrack is fake. The racing is real. That's what people don't understand. Right?
And the
Absolutely.
emotions are really real.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, this field right here is one of the most competitive fields we'll put together. And if you don't think there's ego and more or less than anything, if you don't think there's pride out here, then you're madly mistaken. That's why we love bringing the broadcast. Chris, I'm gonna wrap it up here tonight, buddy. Thank you for putting on one stellar of a show. Willie, thank you for being a part of that show. This is something I'm gonna remember forever. I'm never gonna forget this. Chris, when you watch the broadcast back, don't kill me. Don't want to kill me. I was not laughing at either one of y'all. It could have been.
Please don't kill me either.
It could have been Josh out there getting wrecked. It could have been anybody else within this field getting wrecked, and I would have had the same reaction, especially if it's the leader. But especially if it's a lap down car. But then it was the leader, and that put me over the edge, dude. I just lost full composure. I could not help it. So don't kill me when you watch it back. I promise you, it was nothing personal. Guys, I want to thank y'all for tuning in, for real. I know we've been here for a while after the race. Willie, I want to thank you for coming in the broadcast booth with me. I pulled you up during the worst circumstance possible. You handled it like a champ. You did I hardly ever cuss up here. We've said a few words tonight. You did a damn good job tonight, Willie. Thank you.
I think we kept it PG-13.
Right. And guys, most of all,
I'm definitely gonna be back. Chris,
Awesome.
just keep you out of worry. I'm gonna come up here and broadcast with Tanner from now on the Saturday Night League.
10-4, bud.
all right, folks, we're going to close up shop here tonight. Want to thank y'all for tuning in. I'll pull up the race results really quick. We'll go through the top 10 like we normally do, and then we're going to close up shop for tonight. Chris Carroll, Bright Home P1, our first repeat winner of the season. Christian Pittman went in P2, Jason Days in third, Dalton Kilrow, Trey Hoover, they rounded our top 5 here tonight. Cindy Taylor had a great run tonight for her, had a very good showing in at 07. She brought home in P6. Joe Burchett had a really fast truck, got up there and led some laps, but ultimately the fuel beat him in the behind. He ended up finishing in 7th. Levi Allen, same story. He finished in 8th. Tim Trowbridge in 9th. And then the other young gun of 5 King Motorsports, Jason Raymond in number 44. He brought it home, rounding out the top 10. Folks, want to thank y'all once again for tuning in to tonight's event. As I'm trying to see, we go to Rockingham next week. So a little throwback on the schedule, going to the Rock. So hope y'all tune in. Same place, same time. Next Saturday night at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be hitting that go live button. Hope you're right here with us, tuning in each and every week. But until next time, it's been myself and Willie Abraham up in the booth. 99, Chris Carroll, put it in victory lane one more time here tonight. We'll see you.